There are two kinds of people in the world, my friend. Those with a rope around their neck and the people who have the job of doing the cutting. Listen, the neck at the end of the rope is mine. I run the risks.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Two can dig a lot quicker than one.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, brought to you by Chapman Automotive Group. Check them out at chapmanautomotivegroup.com. Ali, take it away.
Well, my good is, I kind of talked about it, but these quarterbacks that everybody just basically dismissed and gave up on, like Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, these guys, again, they make my point. It's not when you get drafted, it's where you get drafted. And if you go to the right organization that knows what they're doing, they can accentuate your skills. And these guys are all playing quarterback at the highest level in the NFL right now after multiple teams gave up on them, but they were with terrible organizations like the Cleveland Browns and the Carolina Panthers. So, it's just great to see that. It was great to see the Tampa Bay Seattle 76 uniforms. But my good, I know I'm doing it, Justin. Arizona football, they did what they were supposed to do on Saturday against Oklahoma State. Jackson Smith Medina, the kicker.
Michael Salgado Medina?
Yeah.
No one's going to know what to call him.
Funky Cole.
Funky Cole Medina, man. I was really happy to see him hit a couple of kicks, including that 57-yarder to get his confidence up. We're going to need him as a football program, as a football team moving forward, especially this big game against BYU. And offense played great, 5 touchdowns, Noah Fafita. Defense giving up no touchdowns. They did what they were supposed to do. I know Oklahoma State's a bad team, but they did what they were supposed to do against that team. And, kudos to the program for setting up now what is a huge game in Tucson on Saturday against BYU. 5 o'clock, get your tickets, get in the stadium, root on the Cats. But really just, it's fun. It's fun when your football team is playing good football and having success. So I'm having a lot of fun rooting on the Arizona Wildcats football team this year.
Yeah.
And they did a great job on Saturday.
My good is actually a bad for my favorite NFL team, and that is the LA Chargers. And when I was watching that game yesterday, I thought the Chargers were going to go out and have a very strong performance against the Washington Commanders, and then there was a roughing the punter call, and there was a handful of things that led to the Washington Commanders getting some momentum in that
end
game.
Of that first half.
Brutal,
man.
I mean, it should have been 24-0.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being 10-10.
It just tells you, it takes a couple of plays to swing a game like that.
Absolutely.
And that's really what happened.
It was so crazy. I'm like, man, Chargers look great. And then the avalanche of the Washington Commanders happened. And this is why it's part of my good, because, part of me was like, damn it, I hate that I'm rooting for this guy because he's killing my team right now. Yeah. But I got to give him a ton of credit because he's a former Arizona Wildcat, and he is making some moves in the NFL, and that is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, a.k.a. Bill. And Bill, in that game against the Chargers, 14 carries for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. Probably his best performance as an NFL player. And to see this guy go from a 7th rounder to pretty much the starting premier running back for the Washington Commanders, it's just an incredible story. And as far as running backs in the NFL, or just players, period, with a minimum of 25 carries this season, he leads the NFL in yards per carry at 6.6 yards. So he's having a great rookie season. It's been a lot of fun to watch. It pained me to see my Chargers suffer like that, but man, to see Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt find the end zone twice, considering what he's been through over the last year. I mean, this was a player who, grew up in Montgomery, Alabama, wasn't a highly touted recruit. He was like a 2-star guy at best, I think. Didn't get a lot of love. And then Alabama State gave him an opportunity. And then he played 4 years at Alabama State. There was some things that happened that got lost as far as like stat keeping or whatever. So they were under the impression that he redshirted one of those seasons at Alabama State. Turns out he didn't. Then he went to go ball out at New Mexico, became a great player. And then he transferred to Arizona, and they come to find out he didn't have any eligibility. But it's just so unfortunate that it happened because the NCAA cleared him to take official visits. He went up to Washington, considered playing for Jet Fish up there in Seattle, and then chose to come to Arizona. NCAA cleared him to play in that first game against New Mexico, and then someone flagged him for eligibility concerns. Not sure who that person is. Maybe you guys know.
ASU.
But
Kenny Dillingham?
they
Weird.
they popped him for eligibility concerns, and then
Allegedly.
they said, yeah, man, you're done for the rest of the year. But you know what? Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, he didn't just say, all right, I'm going to take my ball and go home. I'm going to go prepare for the NFL draft. He stayed with the Arizona Wildcats football program and helped them get prepared on a weekly basis, participating on the scout team. The best scout team college football player last year was probably Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. If they made a Heisman for scout team players, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt probably would have won that award. And the NFL scouts and the people that would come through the building, they were impressed by his maturity and his willingness to stay with the team, participate with the scout team. And, you know, when you have Tetairoa McMillan and Jonas Avianaya and Tyler Loop, you have NFL guys coming in on a daily basis to your practice. And they saw this guy. They're like, who's this running back that's killing Arizona's defense right now? And because of his college film, because of his maturity, what he did at the East-West Shrine Bowl, what he did at the Big 12 Pro Day, it was, you know, I know it wasn't the year that Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt expected, but to see him get drafted in the 7th round, become the premier running back for the Washington Commanders, and now having success, it's just a great story. And I hate that my Chargers had to lose by 17 points, but I'm glad to see my guy Bill do some big things. So that's my good. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt and his story to becoming a really good running back in the National Football League.
He played great. Your Chargers couldn't stop him. And
No,
I
they
started
couldn't.
your Chargers defense, too.
Damn, sorry.
But, yeah, he played great. He had not to be a Justin, Donnie Downer. He did fumble late, and I think they kind of pulled him. But, it happens. My bad has got layers to it. So, okay, look, everybody's like, it's hot. It was 87, 88, 89 degrees. The noon kickoff. I mean, all kinds of excuses of why you didn't show up for the Arizona football game. Look, I get it. I mean, there's something to be said. But then, I'm looking around the country, and, man, it's hot in Texas. It was hot in the South. It was kind of muggy in the Midwest. We're talking not just heat. We're talking high 80s and humidity. And, the fans of those teams, their kids play sports, too. Their kids are on fall break, too. They also would love to not be hot, but they show up. So I just think that Arizona, it's got to matter. I guess it just doesn't matter. I don't know. It matters to me. I show up. But if you really want to support this football team, it's not the temperature is not the issue. It's how you deal with the temperature. How do you dress for the temperature? What preparation do you take? You can't say it's cold, but you don't go outside and it's 40 degrees and you have a t-shirt on. That's on you. So I know it's hot, those bleachers. I get it. I understand, but man, it seems that other fan bases show up, and it's, at TCU in September, it's really hot and muggy, full stands.
Yeah.
And what really kind of bums me out is the opposing fans at Arizona Stadium have a section. They're always there 10 minutes before the game. It's always full. And Arizona fans are late to getting to the game. And I don't know how to fix that. I was hoping that the production of the game, you could do something where everybody felt like they need to be in their seats. I think I've got one solution for being in your seats, whether you sit in the Sands Club or you're like one of those clubs or whatever. Bring back beer vendors, and if you're in your seat, the beer is cheaper than if you go buy it in the concourse.
Yeah, that's a great move.
Right? So, like, if you're in a Sands Club, if you order from your seat, make it like $3 cheaper than if you go order at the bar. It's like, well, I love my boys, but man, I still think there's guys that have season tickets in the Sands Club that have never sat in their seat. They just stay at the bar. So that's the only thing I got. And then you guys that are taking pictures 5 minutes before the games, it is a problem that Arizona fans are not in their seats. But you guys are giving a distorted image of how many people are in the stadium because the crowd is late arriving. And the pictures you guys sent out was not the way that stadium looked. You guys made it look much worse for the dramatic effect. You guys on social media, it was not like that.
I didn't do it for dramatic effect.
I mean,
The team was about to run out on the field, Ollie.
I get it, man. I get it. But people see that and be like, oh, my God, the crowd is pathetic. But that wasn't really the crowd. The crowd was still pathetic. But it was just a little over dramatic, and it's not really what the crowd was.
It was over pathetic.
So again, there's layers to it. Arizona fans need to be in their seats at least 5-10 minutes before the game. You need to show up and support this football team, and stop being. Frankly, I think it's a little soft. If you're like, well, it's so hot, and tell me about the price. The price of tickets. And Arizona tickets actually pretty reasonably priced compared to any other venue that you go to in the country, unless you're going to a D3 football game. So, I get all that, but the pictures you guys sent out was not true. It was false. And you guys...
I mean, I didn't tailor the video.
Some of the people that sent it out, you guys know it's purposely false so that you can get a reaction, so that people can comment. And you're really not the biggest offender of this. You're not. Okay. But there's others that are. So all of those things can be true. So look, I'm going to tell you guys right now. First of all, I think Saturday should be a whiteout. Arizona should wear all white uniforms. Everybody in the stands should wear white. Just a suggestion, Arizona Athletics. Make it themes, like let's go. And if you don't show up, I'm going to tell you the thing that I love the most about being a Steelers fan, which is so demoralizing for other teams, like the Arizona Cardinals. We go to other stadiums and we dominate. And people are like, what's going on? We take over the stadium. It's the best feeling as a Steelers fan. So demoralizing to be a Chargers or Rams fan or Cardinals fan when there's like, you have to go on silent count in your own stadium. Arizona fans, if you don't show up, BYU will take over the stadium.
They will take over your trap.
And our offense will be running no huddle at home, which would be more embarrassing than the empty seats on Saturday.
It's a lot of maple frosting.
My bad for this week, and it was actually my ugly until I learned more about the Mark Sanchez thing. Spoiler alert, that's my ugly. But my bad is Penn State football, man. What the hell? They went into that game favored by more than 3 touchdowns.
24.5.
24.5 points. And they got down big 27-7 in the first half to UCLA. And remember, this is a UCLA team that fired their head coach, Deshaun Foster. They are 134th in scoring offense, so they don't put up a lot of points. It actually scored a total of 57 points going into this game.
They lost in New Mexico 35-10.
Yes. And then all of a sudden, they put up 280 rushing yards against Penn State. UCLA, 280 rushing yards against the Nittany Lions.
Nico Iamaleava.
I appreciate you for trying.
Iamaleava. Anyway, he played. They couldn't stop him running the ball. And they made no adjustments.
You had a Rob Gronkowski moment. Mecca Abekbu.
What's his last? How do you say it?
Nico Iamaleava.
Iamaleava. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I actually turned to that game at the end because I texted you guys. I'm like, guys, are you watching this? UCLA Penn State?
Yeah.
And you guys were both asleep. But
wasn't that game going on at the same time?
Yeah, I'm like,
I was football game.
I was working, man.
I was
at a press conference.
Yeah. Anyway,
but they were down.
Paying attention to the Arizona game.
Man, what a fan, huh?
I was in my seat.
But yeah, this is probably the worst loss of the James Franklin era. No, it is the worst loss of the James Franklin era. And since 1936, only 4 teams ranked in the AP Top 10 have lost to a team with a record of 0-4 or worse. The last time this happened was in 1985 when UTEP beat number 7 BYU. Yeah. So, historic loss for Penn State.
AP Top 10, one of the most, the biggest jokes of no knowledge. I mean, what about University of Texas this year made you think that you should have ranked them in the top 10 leading up to the game against Florida?
The quarterback has a big forehead.
I'm going to tell you right now, Texas Tech,
landing strip on that kid,
who was ranked 11 last week, Texas Tech is one of, I think, 2 or 3 teams that can win the national championship. They are they are one of the best football teams I've seen all year. And but of course, the AP Top 25, they've got to win more games. They were ranked 23. Anyway, I'm sorry. I digress. That AP, it just every week proves me right that sports writers should never vote anything ranking. Anything. They just shouldn't.
What's your ugly?
Sports writers.
You guys showing your fake news videos right as Arizona is about to run out on the field.
Yeah, during the Penn State game?
There's no more fake news than AP rankings. There's not a more fake news aspect to our general lives. The worst part about the Penn State thing was the press conference, and James Franklin, before taking full accountability, blamed that they didn't get over the loss to Oregon. They had a couple of guys injured, and the travel. And I am tired of Big Ten teams bitching about the travel. You guys asked for this. You wanted UCLA and USC and Washington and Oregon in your league. And then you're complaining about the travel. You know who's not complaining about the travel? Oregon, when they kicked your ass last week.
Yep.
So, I mean, double overtime. But still, they didn't complain. I'm so tired of Big Ten coaches, like, crying and playing victim. You guys asked for this. You asked for it. Yeah, I mean, the debacle in the desert is my ugly. The Arizona Cardinals are the Three Stooges of the NFL. I mean,
Larry Moe and Curly.
good God, man. Whether it's the snap in Kyler's face, the interception that was fumbled for a touchdown for Tennessee, what is his name? Amari DeMarcado. Gee, DeMarcado, what
We're
are you
going to get a name here one of these days.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing? It would have been 28-6. The game was over.
Would you say that was a cardinal sin?
Yeah, I mean, especially when you had like Mitchell from the Colts show you last week, don't do that. It was just, I mean, I was watching it, and I've never had my stomach laugh more, hurt from laughing more than watching the last half of that fourth quarter. If you're Tennessee, do you celebrate that win with the game ball?
That was
do you give the game ball to the Cardinals?
that touchdown, man, where the Cardinals intercepted it.
Right.
And then they fumbled it. The ball rolls in the end zone, and then they jump on it. That is one of the goofiest touchdowns I have ever seen in the NFL.
They had 3 Cardinals around it, and the guy went down to go pick it up instead of fall on it, and he kicked it in the end zone. I'm like, Larry Moe Curly?
Yeah.
It was Three Stooges time, man. And it's embarrassment. I mean, I'm not a Cardinals guy in any way, but I was. If the 10 of you Cardinal fans out there, I'm sorry. That's just you root for just an embarrassment of an organization. That's just bad all the way around. Just bad.
So my ugly, Mark Sanchez, man. Mark Sanchez, the former NFL quarterback. I mean, who would have thought that the butt fumble would be the second most embarrassing part of his career in life? So Mark Sanchez was hospitalized and then arrested after an altercation with a 69-year-old truck driver that resulted in Mark Sanchez getting stabbed. So Mark Sanchez was acting erratically and ended up body slamming a truck driver right outside an Indianapolis bar/hotel or whatever. And apparently Mark Sanchez was so plastered that he was outside doing wind sprints in this parking lot. And then he sees this truck and gets into this altercation with this guy and body slams the truck driver and is like breaking into the truck and is just acting like a total ass. And the truck driver was defending himself, pepper sprayed Mark Sanchez. And Mark Sanchez thought, you know what? I'm going to take it another step further. I'm going to keep going after this guy, even though he pepper sprayed me. And the guy was like, okay, sorry, you're getting stabbed a couple times here. And apparently the truck driver was also hospitalized, and photos came out of him in the hospital. Does not look good for Mark Sanchez. I mean, he was in Indianapolis for the Fox game, for the Colts-Raiders game, as a NFL broadcaster. And now he's in the hospital, got arrested. And what's so crazy is like how this story evolved. It went from Mark Sanchez getting stabbed. We're like, oh my gosh, I hope he's okay. Like, I mean, I always hope someone's okay after they get stabbed. But it was just like, oh my gosh, what's going on in Indianapolis? Like, this is such a sad story. And come to find out, it was Mark Sanchez acting like an ass.
Yeah.
So
he's the master of improbable scenarios now. He's like the king of improbable scenarios. He fumbled to the other team without getting touched by the other team by running into the butt of his offensive lineman. So that was pretty improbable. And he got stabbed, and he's the one that got arrested.
Yeah.
That doesn't usually happen.
yeah,
So
Are we sure he wasn't with the Cardinals?
good God, man.
he's gonna spend some like jail time, right? He's getting locked up.
I don't know. He's going to be paying some money, though.
Yeah.
The civil suit is not going to be...
Be hemorrhaging money.
So, yes, that is the good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, my ugly was Penn State, and then Mark Sanchez had to be an ass in Indianapolis.
Worse, the debacle in the desert or Mark Sanchez? Mark Sanchez, right?
Mark Sanchez.
Although the debacle in the desert gave it a run for its money, man.
No doubt.
Good God. My stomach still hurts from laughing watching the end of that game.
All right, that is it for the good, the bad, and the ugly, brought to you by Chapman Automotive Group. Visit ChapmanTucson.com. Chapman Automotive Group, they offer one of the largest selections of new and used cars for sale in Arizona.